Okay, we are live. But Ron, can you hear me? I don't hear you. Can you hear me? But I do not hear you. It says your microphone is turned off. It shows your microphone is being turned off. Can you hear me? I don't hear you. I still don't hear you. It shows your microphone is being turned off. Can you hear me? I don't hear you. I still don't hear you. It shows your microphone is being turned off. Hey, leave the green room and come right back. It shows your microphone is being turned off.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
All right, got it.
Yes, there we go.
All right, good.
And
Good to see you, Dan.
we are live.
We're live.
All right.
Somebody out there listening to us?
Actually, dude, what's really weird, I put the art in advance so that people can just look at the art for like a half an hour. And I kept checking on it, and there were people going in and out of there. But
No one
you
stayed?
got to turn off your speakers
Turn off my speakers?
or turn off.
Okay.
Are you playing it? Yeah.
Well, let me put on my headphones then.
Yeah, put on your headphones. Oh, there you go. Now
All right.
speak. All right, there you go. Yeah, because I was hearing that echo. I was hearing that echo.
Bluetooth.
What's going on? Check.
Son of a bitch. What?
Hey, language.
Oh, you gotta be shitting me.
What happened now?
Hang on.
I can hear you. Oh. And then Ron left building it again. Well, maybe Ron will return. We are live. For any that might be out there, apparently there is someone. That's really strange because I didn't expect there to be anyone. Ron's coming back. Well, Ron, can you hear me? I can hear you now, but you can't hear me.
Me.
Maybe you just go ahead and I'll just deal with the echo. Although I know that's not good because people can hear it as well.
All right, you can't hear me.
I can hear you.
Son of a bitch. What's going on here? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yes.
I can't hear you now. Son.
It's your headphones.
Okay, Magic Keyboards, mouse is working. Keyboard is working.
What about the Bluetooth?
Got it all the way. Boom, 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 boom. Output is up. Okay.
What about the Bluetooth on the headphones?
Can't connect with you on these stupid headphones.
Don't you have a regular plug-in? All right, well,
Are you getting some kind of reverb on that?
On here, but I don't know if it is live. I'll check. Hang on.
Don't you have a all right. Can't hear you getting reverb on that?
Yeah. It's going to live. You can tell now. Yeah. When I play the live, you can hear the echo.
Can you still hear it now?
Well, it's low, but it's back there. I don't know what's wrong with your headphones. Don't you have a regular plug-in headset?
Yeah, but they don't reach the back of the computer, so I can't really use them. They're only this long,
You don't.
so I can't really use them.
You don't have just a regular headphone set?
Let me see if I can find those headphones again. Where are those things? Oh, here they are. Okay, where are these going to go? Let me turn around. Hey, everybody, get a bird's eye view of my room.
All right.
Apples. I don't know why they put them back there where you can't. Okay, talk to me.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, perfect. Then no echo.
I can hear out one ear.
Well, that's good enough. You only need one ear. This isn't a show about listening anyway. This is a show about talking. Well, can you hear me both ears now?
All right, here we go.
I think it's your ears.
The target is in sight. Okay. Take your finger away from the ear. Milk, or so they say.
Well, martini. It is what they say. All right. Boy, we got a lot to cover here. You know.
All right. So you were saying people were
Hold on. I was saying people were coming in, looking at the art. I don't know what was going on. I kept seeing the numbers go up and down. I was like, what's going on here?
It's like they see it and then it's immediate escape.
Well, I don't know. I think they check in to see if there's any conversation or anything in the chat. There's nothing going on, so they just kind of look around. If I look at that for a while and go, oh, well, you know what, let's out of here. But that's fine because with the Caswell, we always throw the banner up before we do the shows anyway, just to put get the show, give people a chance to check in. In our case, maybe they checked in and like, oh Jesus, nobody's here, and they left. But whatever. We're here now.
Really? That impatient, huh? There's nothing happening right now. It's 6 o'clock and 36 seconds. Nothing's happening. Oh my God! I've got to go out to dinner.
Welcome to America, Ron. Welcome to America.
Yeah, I want it back.
I don't want none of it back, dude. No.
Give us back.
Since we last talked, there's been an election.
But Hitler won't leave the bunker.
He's leaving. Yeah, he's going to leave. I love the fact that he's fighting so hard to. Why? You're like, what's the point of this?
Exactly.
You don't even want to do the job. Hey, you froze. You got to leave and come back again. Ron's connection is sucked. Okay. Stop doing that. Why do you keep leaving and freezing? You gotta get this.
Hey, wait a second.
Anyway.
So you know what? My take on this whole thing is that they better get Kamala Harris all squared away because he's coming back. He thinks he's coming back in 2024 because that's his thought process. His thought process is this old geezer, he's going to kick off and he's not going to run for a second term. And I got Kamala. I'll grab her by the, So I think that's what he's thinking, that he has a chance because the same old hatreds are going to be there and the same old group is...
I think that what's going to really happen, this is me, I think that once his shield of presidency peels away, the New York prosecutors are after his ass. They're going to either get one of his kids, he's got to sacrifice something. Something has to be sacrificed. One of his children, he's got to give up one of his children, or he's got to go himself. Somebody's got.
Well, he isn't going to give up Ivanka, that's for sure.
Well,
but I'd say one of the stupid idiots, yeah. Well, you can off any one of those kids,
Eric,
he may do it. He may do it himself. He may go on Madison Avenue and shoot Don Jr. in the head. Just blast him.
I think it's Eric that has to take the fall. He's going to go, Eric, you got to do one for the family. That's the way it is. Let's give you a country club. We'll visit.
I deserve respect. I'm not stupid. I'm not stupid like they say, and I want my respect.
God. All right, we'll get off this soapbox.
I'm not on a soapbox.
How's the teaching world going?
I'm not wearing any pants.
How's the teaching world going?
Oh, the teaching world. That, I don't know. I don't know if I should say any of it. What's bubbling back in my head, but I enjoy teaching like this. You look so sophisticated with that fake glass of martini in your mouth.
It's not fake.
Is that a real olive? Or is that one of those? Did you steal that from like...
Wait a second. You do know I drink martinis all the time. I actually have the Southern California Martini Society.
Wow.
It's the most bougie thing I have in life.
Yes, you are a fucking aristocrat.
Yeah. We go to all different kinds of bars, though. We go from dives to the high side. We go up and down the ladder with our martini drinking.
Well, I belong to the National Dairy Federation.
No, you didn't. You faking the throat.
I belong to the National Dairy Federation, and we go up and down.
You drink it straight up milk?
This is straight up milk, folks. It's healthy. It's God's food. All right, mother's milk.
Oh, boy.
You know.
Are we the only creature that drinks another animal's milk?
Mm. Hey, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to suck on the tit of my mother forever.
I mean, I like the fact that we like milk so much that we make milk out of almonds. Exactly. You know, what the? They like milk that much?
Yeah. We try to squeeze milk out of almonds.
God, dude. That's my mind. You know, we really want some milk.
Don't press so hard. It hurts. I'll give you the drop.
I mean, Jesus, man. Humans never are weaned. We are never off the milk.
Never. But you know what? I'm getting the milk that my mother gave me. It always came laced with alcohol, so that's the source. That's how I was. That's how I was raised, born and raised. I was breastfed milk and alcohol at the same time.
Wait, I don't even want to even ask you questions about that. I'm gonna leave that alone. It's too weird to think about. I don't want to think about it. I'm gonna let it go.
That's why I have those bad dreams.
Oh man. So what's going on with this art? What's the difference between this time and last time?
The last time it wasn't finished.
Is it finished now? I noticed that his insides are a little bit more filled in. And the color's a little different. It's not like before it was kind of weird and bright. Now it's darker. Here, let me see if I can pull up the last image. Where is it? I think I saved it. Hang on a second. Where is it? Whoa, I can't. You know what? Hold on. Ron, are you there? You went away. You froze. You got to unfreeze yourself, Ron, if you can hear me.
Oh, sorry. Typo. Grammarly. All right, I'm here.
All right, cool. I'm going to pull the image up now.
All right. It's in a show.
Oh, is it in that show on 30th Street?
Yeah, it's the last show. They told me, like I told you, I created that syllabus hoping that they would say it was undoable as a class, but they hired. Yeah. Now I got to go to a staff meeting. Goddamn. I mean, thank you. I appreciate the offer.
Okay, there we go. And okay, well, so there is the. I'm.
Hang tight. Hey, is anybody out there listening to me, or is it just coming from him? If you are, I'm going to be conducting an art class for adults or semi-adults and or pretend adults. Everybody's welcome. And I have no idea what I'm going to be doing, but whatever it is, I'm sure we're going to laugh. Dang, that is small.
Are you back, Ron?
Oh yeah, that's the new one. That's the new one.
Hello?
It's a little bit bright, but that's the
that's the old one.
Yeah, we can't make these things bigger.
Well, Well, I can make them bigger by covering us up. Hang on a
Ted, I
second.
can't hear you.
You can't hear me? Oh.
All right.
Okay. That's me. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Hey, how come?
Okay, hang on a second.
Hang
on 1 second. Hang on 1 second. And that, and then that to front. How come I can't get it behind in front of you? There we go. All right.
Thank you.
Now I got both of them up.
Now I do feel like Ed McMahon.
Yeah, well, we're both covered up. There's the old one in front of the new one.
Next
to the new one.
I don't see anything, but I can see the little one. I can see the little thumbnail over here.
Oh, you don't see anything. Oh, go to
share screen.
Go to the stream output.
The stream output, or is that
on your thing? Where you watching? What are you watching? It's coming. Hang on. It's gonna be coming. It should come up right now.
No. We can't screen share.
Oh, hang on. Whoa. Let me do this. What about now?
I don't see anything. We can't screen share?
You still don't see it? Oh, I don't see it either. It should be coming though.
Oh, I don't have any control over these things. These settings. That's cool. I mean, I would like it if people could see it.
Yeah, I'm trying to make it so that people can see it, but I'm having a difficult time. You know what I'm going to do is, hang on. I thought I did it.
Because I don't see how anybody else can see what we can see in the stream output. Let me see something here. Private chat. All right. It didn't do anything for me on the stream output. Picture in picture. That made it a little bit bigger. Hey, look at this. Check this out. All right, I made mine huge.
I'm trying to find the other one.
I made mine. I wonder if that will happen to you if you do that.
Oh, there it is. Okay, there's the other image now. Boom. Here, move me to back. Then here to you, move you to back. And then the image is in front now. And you don't see both images?
No. Okay. Let me turn off my. Let me do this.
Oh no, there it is. Now you should see it. There it goes.
Oh, I see both. I see both of the. I see both of the
paintings.
I see both of the thumbnails. I was just wondering. You can't see them big on the screen.
They're big on the screen on the feed. If you go, are you watching it on your phone as well?
No,
or not?
No, I'm not.
If you're watching the show, then what you're seeing is them big.
All right.
Now.
Yeah,
they're both big.
There's a bit of each one that's cut off. But
you cut it. I only got the image that you sent, and you cut it off like that. So there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, stupid me. There's a top part that's cut off, but that's all that's cut off is the very top of it, which
because one doesn't have the entire boat, as you can see already.
Yeah, well, there's not much more left of the boat besides that, but up top there is an interesting part that's missing that are directional lines and they're purposeful objects in the composition to direct the eye to this center image up there with the woman opening up the doorway or the shuttered windows. So yeah. But
I do notice the big difference in that whatever that thing is in the background. What makes me think of Australia.
This over here, the little Sydney Theater. Yeah, right, I mean, exactly. if you saw it, there would be this receding line of kind of strange looking mountain kind of type gnarly hands. They recede back color wise, and then there's a moon, and then there's this kind of comet meteor check mark that's coming from the upper right hand corner down toward and pulling.
You froze again. Ron, you froze. Stop freezing.
All right, so there are significant elements in this, and if I didn't send those, then yeah, that's on me. I didn't do that. I It's funny that it didn't come up because I have it here on my phone, and let me see it. Let me check it out.
Well, if you look at what you sent me, I only use what you sent me on the phone because you didn't email it to me. So
You undermined me again.
well,
All
you
right.
did it. I'm only using what you give me, man. I'm thinking you. I'm
That's
thinking you're
okay.
trying. I'm thinking you're trying to do this to implicate me in some kind of way, or weird way.
Oh man, the doubt. The oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, there it is. There it is. I see it. Oh man, that's really cutting the top uh, sixth or seventh of the painting. But anyway, that doesn't matter. Let's pretend that that's the way the painting is.
My question for you is though, so why the change? Why the muting of the colors in the body?
Why the muting of the colors?
Right. You see what I'm saying? Like the one that's not finished is all bright. Now I get the understand. I understand why you toned down the red in the boat back there, but not the
Uh,
body, the
the
interior of his
body.
body.
Well, I mean, if you look at it in I don't know what it is about that because that looks a little blanched out, but the image that I'm looking at, it's still pretty intense, like the original. I intensified it even more behind the organs on the ribs on it to actually create that curvature. But when I map out these the objects or the areas, the regions in every painting, I map them out with an undercoating of real bold colors, and then I play with them, retaining some of that background color to push through the colors that I lay over it. So you can still see them, but I like to mute them down because simply because I'm trying to uh, I'm trying to create this. Well, they're not muted down all that much. It's actually the photograph that's more muted down than anything else because I'm looking at my image on my phone, and it's a pretty intense in the sense that those reds that are coming behind the organs are. I really wanted to play with the space, and that's what this whole thing was anyway. It was a exercise in creating deep space, but also, and that's why the top part really comes into play because it helps uh, accentuate that deep space, and also I wanted to play with compression of space at the same time. So expanding space and compressing space, where I wanted to have those two dichotomies working simultaneously.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I know. I kind of understand that. I get that. Which is probably the reason why you got rid of what would be that little stairwell area above his head that was going to the woman's window.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I pushed that back, but I kept a lot of it was just that abstraction that happens in that dark area. And that was one of
Right.
the things I needed in the painting. I needed more dark area. And I
Well,
didn't
and see,
have
that's
any.
what I'm saying. That's the part that adds that depth to me is that when you darken that up and got rid of that little like I call it a stairwell. I don't know what you want to call it. When
Uh-huh.
it's not, that's what you got rid of it because I can still see that the hint of it is there.
Yeah,
But
it's still
when
there.
you darken that area behind his head, when you darken the area behind his head and in that upper part of the wave, it really presses the depth.
Yeah. And that's what I was really trying to fight for is when I realized that that vertical of that stairwell, the body, and the woman in the window created such a vertical line that it flattened out that whole area there. So I needed to move that space back. But all of that all of that stuff in the background in between that area is all the brushstrokes from wiping out when going in there. And I went in there with a with black or Mars black, burnt umber, and blue, and mixed it all together and made this right kind of really beautiful, rich, thick blackish.
Hey, I got a question though. This is on a color technique thing. Do you feel the difference when you mix? Now, this is in particular the burnt umber, because I was working with. When you mix the burnt umber in, do you even feel it change anything? Because I sometimes don't. Hello, Ron, you froze.
All right. Yeah, no, I can feel that. Like if I lay it into a blue, and I lay it in real liberally. When I lay that into the blue, I can feel it just that blue just kind of warm up really fast.
Okay.
It just has a lot of body to it, more body than it had before. Like I always throw it in with like Prussian blue or blue phthalo or phthalo blue, and I'll put that blue umber in there, and it just kind of puts the meat behind the skin in the blue. So I like that feel, you know. So that's why I'll throw colors in like that, but I'll throw this cool against a warm. I'll mix them together, and it kind of keeps the coolness from the blue, but it gives it a little bit of warmth. It's friendlier, you know.
God, well, you know, here this image is troubling, but it's friendly.
Yeah, it's a friendly blue, you know. Whereas most people, when they think of a color in a region, they get really um, territorial about their colors that they use within that. And I don't have that territorialness about that territoriality about the colors. I'll throw purples in there, and I'll throw reds in there, and then I'll throw the umber in there, and then I'll throw the blue in there, and I'll throw a GABA blue in there just to warm it up, and everybody knows that it looks like blue, but welcome, that is one heterogeneous area in there that has a whole multitude of colors. So
Okay.
and then when I'm laying colors on top of that, so when I lay colors on top of that, like the purples that you see in that region, they really kind of just strike out, and I don't have to do a lot with them because they they're against this warm, dark area, and so I'll lay a cool color over it, and it will start to kind of undulate, and then what I'll do is I'll see that undulation, and I'll just between the colors, and then I'll just start playing with them back and forth. And so if you look in that area really close, that space is all of the brush strokes I was using while I was working that blue in there, and then came in and worked in some purples in there, and they made these really interesting shapes. And then what I try to do is I try to geometricize them. So I tried to give them a sense of shape and form while they're in there.
Okay.
Does that explain it?
Yeah, no, I kind of understand. Whoa. I did have another question though.
Yeah.
Uh, I do you prescribe to? What's the word I'm looking for here? I gotta think about this. Uh, the psychological aspects of color. You know, people do all this different color theory on what colors mean and how colors affect you. Do you prescribe to any of that stuff?
Nah, not really. I mean, color affects everybody differently. I mean, that's people respond to a painting or any artwork or anything in nature due to color. You know, it I mean, it has an impact. I mean, and there is kind of your conventional sense of uh, of what should happen or what colors should work. I mean, that was Rothko's whole idea of this compatibility of, I guess it's a compatibility of colors, but they generate an emotion, and that emotion is probably deep within a Jungian kind of
you mean Carl Jung, right?
yeah,
I'm like, look at you, man, throwing these kinds of terms around. Damn it.
But we're this kind of archetypal color that we grew, that we've all is part of our DNA. But for me, I'm not playing with that. I really, if I look at anything, I throw the kitchen sink at a painting. I really do. I throw everything at it, and I just wait to see what sticks and what doesn't stick. And what doesn't stick usually gets erased,
I will say this, as looking at these pieces together, that definitely the second one is more finished than the first one and is more cohesive. And even from the tonal colors, like bringing out that bright purple in the upper part, I know you said the upper part is cut off and I know I can't see it all, but bringing that little purple that is not even really purple. I don't know what that color would be, like a purplish scarlet kind of a color up in the top part up there where the Sydney thing is. And then toning down his interior body did bring the whole thing together, because that yellow at the bottom is the only yellow it is other than her window. I mean, but it's like the biggest portion of what would be the hottest spot of the painting, and it balances off well by putting that other stuff up top. Hello, are you there? Well, come back, Ron.
That upper part of the paint, the left and right of the painting, and also just right there where that lightens up, and it's like a half moon shape that's in there with the check mark. It adds to the that again. It's dichotomies. Am I frozen again?
No, you're fine. I can hear you again. I'm looking for the half moon with the check mark.
Yeah, you can't see it. It's right above that. It's directly above it. And so I'm playing with the light, but I'm also playing with that space in between there. And I like to play with the fact that I like to think that my paintings are kind of a irregular reality.
You got that.
I don't want to say they're surrealistic, because they're not. The paintings in and of themselves thematically are autobiographical, in the sense that I'm taking elements that are important to me in that moment. And so, and what's cool about a painting is that you're working on it for an extended period of time, or you're working on anything, any type of artwork, and you know this, any type of artwork for an extended period of time, your relationship with that painting changes. It develops. It could even devolve, but it's an extended conversation, and so. And so, where was I going with this? Wait a second. Well, the song, I ran out of milk.
I'm about to. That's really funny, because I'm down to one olive, so my
save the olive. In the amphibian, that olives are amphibious. They need water.
But yeah, dude, it's a nice piece of work. Is the show open for people to go see?
Yeah, you can go and see it right now. It's just under COVID restrictions, but it's like
okay,
people are paying attention to the restrictions as per convenience.
How big
So
is this piece?
this piece is rather small. It's 36 by 48. So it's a small painting.
I love it. Yes, 3 feet by 4 feet. This is a tiny little piece.
Yeah, it's little. It's little for a painting. I really don't feel comfortable unless I'm working on something that's at least 5 by 6 or 7. You know, that's I say was really my minimum size, but that canvas was laying around and I picked it up and said I'm going to use this. So, you know, I'm an opportunist. I'm only going to use, I mean, poor people will understand this. You'll use what you got in your hands to
Dude,
do
tell me
whatever it
about
is.
it.
Yeah.
I'm still doing the same art I discovered I could do when I had no money.
Yes, yes, yes,
And I'm
yes.
still doing the exact same art, which is sad. It might be sad. That might be sad.
No, you're not doing the same art. I've seen your art over the last 30
No,
years.
I'm saying I'm using the same stuff. I
Well,
haven't.
there's nothing wrong with using that. You've perfected down to a style. I actually was watching a video today, and it was Marina Abramovich, and she was talking about, you know, one thing that can happen is that you can become really comfortable with the way you're doing something, and you'll become rather proficient in doing that one thing that certain way, and so it becomes maybe detrimental because you're not exploring possibilities, and I know that to be true because I'm right hand dominant, but my signature, I have these signature lines because a lot of the work you can't see it, but in the wave, uh, I was looking at artwork, and with the intention of copying the way they were doing it. And then I realized, why should I copy it? What do I do best? And it's almost, if you look at the wave itself, it is this arabesque kind of swirl, and it's really calligraphy in there. And while I was doing it, I was really paying attention to the way my
You froze again. Come back, Ron. Come back.
I hate that when that happens, man. I get going on a thing and then you tell me come back. And I've been into it for like 2 minutes. Uh, am I back?
Okay, here. Oh,
Okay, am I back? Am I back? No? How about now? No? No?
well, we're gonna wait for Ron to come back because I really want to hear him
I
finish this description.
All right. Am I back? No?
We're gonna wait. Go back, Ron.
No? I'm still frozen. What if I do this? Am I back? Am I back? Did I go somewhere? Talk to me, Ted. Are you back? Am I back?
Yes, and I'm back as well.
Oh man, that was an interlude. Okay, that was an intermission, folks.
Hang on a second. Hang on 1 second. Something's not working for me here. Where are you?
I'm right here.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about. Oh, hang on. Wait a minute. You know what? We gotta get rid of.
You got multiples of me out there again? Shut them down.
Okay, I got you back. Okay, are you here?
Yeah, I am.
Good. Keep talking. We're good.
Talking. I was talking about.
No, you were talking about. Go back to the part where we said calligraphy. That's where I lost.
Oh yeah. Really, back all the way there. Okay.
Hey, man, right. I don't go back there.
Okay. So our hands move in a certain way. Our dominant hands move in a certain way. And so while I was trying to make these waves, I started thinking about, do I go back to look at, someone like Delacroix or something like that? But I didn't want to do that. Well, I did, actually, tell you the truth. I was looking at it. And then I decided...
I didn't want to, but I did. It doesn't matter. I did it anyway.
Yeah. And then I realized I didn't want to make the waves like that. I wanted to make them the way I thought about the waves. So I started drawing this creating this kind of, alteration between dark and light. And this dark blue to a blue, a greenish yellow to a blue to a greenish yellow to a blue again, a dark bluish green. And I wanted to keep that green feel in there, the ocean, whatever. But as I started to create them and I was painting them out, I started paying attention. And this is the one thing that happens to me when I start doing anything. I stop paying attention to what the painting is about. That's the least of my concerns. I don't care what the painting is about. What I get into is that once I have everything set up and all the colors are going to be where, it's the actual action of doing the painting. So when I started painting that water part, that background water part, the wave, the curvature of the wave, I got into the movement of my hand with different brushes that I started using. And that's all it became. It was really became a design effort. I was just, and what was mesmerizing me was the fact of the lines I would make, the curvatures, the ovals, the feathered tips, the blunt parts. It was kind of cool. And so that's how I treat everything on here. I have a general idea of what is the intended, the initial thesis, but as I get into it, that becomes less important to me. And so it allows me a lot of liberty because I'm not bound by anything. Because all I'm interested in is, as I get to each section, what can I do in that one little section? I don't even have to think about the rest of it. I'm not even thinking about the rest of it. Like that little area that's right, that purple area on the left, that was just an exercise in having fun with making shapes and cuts and angles and creating this kind of feel of something kind of emanating out of the darkness. But it had nothing to do with the painting itself. It wasn't part of the idea. It's kind of miraculous how it kind of fits. It works, and it kind of works with the attitude.
Do I actually understand this. I really do.
Well,
because my piece. We're gonna put that piece up on maybe the next show, the Irma piece. Because when I did the belly, it was like I was working on that as opposed to it being part of the piece.
Mm-hmm.
It was like this part is just a piece into itself, attached to the rest of the piece.
Yeah. You get what I'm saying then. I mean, It's like you get lost inside the
Oh, you just got burned again. Stop it, Ron. Come back. I'm not going to change anything. I'm not ever hitting any buttons again.
Yeah, don't touch the buttons.
I didn't. I didn't touch any buttons, dude. I'm not going to do it.
Send this lonely spacecraft off into some blind nebula.
But I am going to get rid of the old painting now, though.
Okay.
There was something else I was going to mention about this old painting. I can't remember what it was now, but it doesn't matter. I'm getting rid of the old one. It's gone. It's leaving now.
Yeah.
Because it's in the way.
Bye.
There you go.
Get out of it. Out of sight, out of mind. It's not gone on mine.
It's going to be leaving soon.
I'd like to not see it either.
It's leaving.
Yeah.
Here, I'm gonna update the stream and it's gonna leave. Watch. It's gone. Okay.
And so yeah. No, there's all kinds of things that are happening there that are in terms of. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I'm jealous of that. I remember when I used to paint. I don't have the area and the space to paint anymore. But I remember when I did paint, how you could get lost in the paint.
Well, I think you could get lost just about anything. Like, man, dude, the other day, I was talking to, and I'd love to have Nathan come on here because you guys talking about music and making music would really fascinate me. That would be something
Nathan who?
Nathan Toomey. Remember he came and played at Lapa Lapa and he was playing the little ukulele?
Oh. Okay, I remember the guy, but you brought him. Okay, yes, I do know. I thought his name was something else. I knew his name was Nathan. Right?
Yeah. He comes from a musical family, so a musical background. But I actually told him, I says, I'd love to have you on, just so that because we were looking for artists, and I thought for me the most fascinating thing is the creation of music. I think that's just a mysterious kind of magical kind of ability to have, and I love music, but I don't have the capacity or the faculties to actually make it. I can appreciate it, I can understand it, but I can't make it, and I want to make it so bad sometimes,
Wow, really? Because I can't make it either.
Well, you make sounds, and you do, and your voice is an instrument.
I wouldn't call it. That's what I said. I wouldn't call it music. You said sounds.
Well, I mean, sounds. I mean, that's all it is. It's just organized sound, and you guys organize it. It has this dissonance to it, but it still seems to work as a whole,
It's like if you throw a mess on the floor.
No, it's not a mess on the floor because I've listened to it. It holds up. It's vertical,
if you throw a mess on the floor, photograph it. Throw another mess on the floor, photograph it. Continue to do it for 30 days. Put 30 images of messes on the floor on the wall. It will be art.
Don't give me an idea. That sounds like all my paintings.
I told a friend of mine, this is not even a joke. I'm telling the truth here. She was like, I could never do art. I'm not an artist. I said, I tell you what, I said, do you do laundry? She goes, yeah. I said, here's what you do. Every time you go to do laundry, take a photograph of the laundry basket before you throw it in, and do that every time you do it. Just don't even try to arrange it. Just photograph that laundry basket every time for 1 month.
And we got it.
Then when you get done, put them all up, and you're going to go, oh, and I'm going to go, that would be art.
Yeah.
Because it would cover many elements of art. It would be actual life. It would be artistic in idea that it is created, because it's not like the pile of laundry didn't just suddenly appear out of nowhere. You would have to put it together as the pile of laundry. It would also document your life.
Yeah.
Because you look at that pile and go, why is that on top of the pile?
Man, I should be able to afford better clothes than that.
Yeah. Also, it's an economic statement. It's like, yeah, well,
I'm poor as shit. I'm at a laundromat, number one.
They're like, you wearing those same pants for 4 weeks in a row? You go, dude, I got no more pants. Yeah, got no more pants.
Hilarious. That's funny. Yeah. So yeah, man, it's like that's why I was saying, I'd like to have some, I've got a couple of people that I've been thinking about, and it would be interesting, because
Stop freezing, Ron. I'm not going to hit the button because I know better.
You hit the button, didn't you? Did you hit the button?
No, I did not, because I know better now. I have learned a lesson, and I didn't realize it until I watched one of Lizzie's shows, and she was saying people were dropping in. But the great thing is that the software
is still recording,
right? And the software has a delay in it, so that it links it all up, so you don't even see the dropout.
Oh, that's. I don't know if that's good or bad, because God, the things I was saying off camera.
Not like that. I'm just saying that the dropout is so short. It's like a little clip. And so I learned my lesson. I don't touch any buttons. I just wait.
I don't touch anything.
Well, this is much better, not having that echo in the background. You should definitely use those headphones again next time. Yeah, dude, we can have guests in, and they can be guests of doing anything. Sure, you can bring that guest. Nick said he just couldn't do it this weekend because of, obviously holidays and whatever.
Right.
But he wants to do it, so we're going to.
What's his name?
Nick.
Ah, okay.
He's in the drawing group, but he does weird stuff. I could ask him to show something weird. I got other artist friends too I could bring in who have weird stuff. I don't know. I just really wonder what we were even talking. I worry sometimes about what we were talking about. It's like, oh God, what are we going to talk about? This is going to be weird.
So when people are viewing it on the screen, do they see the picture big, full?
It depends on how they watch it on their screen. Yes,
they're not watching. They don't see a thumbnail like we're looking at.
No, they don't see a thumbnail like we're looking at.
Okay.
They see us and that thing taking up the full screen.
Oh, awesome.
The full screen is what you see. Is the three images: me, you, and then the image to the side.
All right. Please don't stare at my bookcases. I don't want you to look at my contraband.
I have the selfish gene.
Oh, did you get it?
I got to the library today. I started in on the author's intro because I have the 30th anniversary edition.
Right.
And he's writing an intro for the 30th anniversary. And I like the way he talks about being trapped by the book.
Yeah.
Because I guess that was his first book.
And
so now he goes to do readings for his newer books. And then when he has to sign books, everyone's buying the first book.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, there you go, man.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like it possesses him,
Yeah, exactly. That's the fate of fame, right there.
It's the fate of fame for one thing.
Yeah.
Here's your thing. Don't deviate.
Well, I mean, like I said, the reason I picked up that book, I had all four of the books, and I wanted to read the one that made him famous.
That's
and it will change the way you think about everything. It's a pretty amazing book. I mean, when you think about it, huh?
I'm fucked up.
You are fucked up?
In the head.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right. Okay. Well, join the club. Welcome to the party, pal.
I just wonder what the book's going to change. Like, the book's going to change the way you think about things. Like, oh, good Lord.
No, it really does, man. It was like, talking about neutrinos, and people know that they exist, but they can't prove it because they can't see them because they're too tiny. They're particles within particles, and so it's like this.
They come out of the sun. They go through everything, like they're flowing through.
They go through the entire planet. Yeah, and that's very disconcerting when you say that a neutrino is shooting right up my ass and going out the top of my head and headed towards Saturn.
That's going to the top of your head and out your ass.
So So I mean, it's like he deconstructs evolution, and like he said, I'm not a neo. I mean, he's not trying to uh, dispute Darwinism. He's a neo-Darwinist. So he believes in evolution, but he's just deconstructed it down to the gene particle.
Well, okay, I can go with that. We've had this discussion. And you froze again. Come back, Ron. Come back.
What evolution is, because they basically, I didn't stop the conversation, I kept it going. So
I think a conversation involves two people.
Yeah. Not really. I don't really need anybody else. I got enough voices going on in here that I have a perfectly good conversation by myself.
I told somebody the other day, I said, they told me solitary confinement. I was like, perfect. Please.
Yeah. You can't hurt me. I'm invincible.
Because that would just give me some time to get some shit done.
Yeah, the worst thing that could happen to me is you put me in a room full of people.
Yeah, I don't want to be in a room full of people. Oh my God, it's the scariest thing on the planet.
But he deconstructs it down to, and it really makes you think about evolution. We think about ourselves. Where did I read it? I read it just the other day. Mankind is a great idea, but it's not such a special idea. Yeah, it's not particularly unique.
This was the discussion we had on the phone. I said we got to save it for the show.
Yeah.
We were talking, and I said that in my mind that we're just Earth's next best idea.
Yeah, we might not even be that.
Maybe we are supposed to be reaching out to other planets, because Earth is like, I got to mate with another planet.
Hell no. Do you think any planet really wants us? They know what we do.
Earth is like, come on, take my seed. Humans.
In terms of the bigger picture, we're gophers. We'll come and eat the roots of your plants and destroy your beautiful garden.
We're going to Europa.
Europa. We should be consigned. We should be consigned to an ice planet. That way we can bring all our Disney videos with us. And are you there?
I'm here.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. All I know is we're going out there, but I don't know if we're going to make it before the planet gives up on us.
The planet is never going to. Well, the planet will give up on us. The planet will be here. It will stay here.
What I said, I didn't say we give. I said the planet gives up on us.
Yeah.
Because we're just like, well, we killed it. All right. Well, you killed it for yourselves. You're out of here.
Yeah. No, I mean,
I'll take another 100 million years or something else.
And I'm not being, I'm not being facetious about it. I'm just, I do believe that the planet will just continue going on. It's been here for 4 billion years. It'll continue going on, and it just shrugs off every iteration of being on the planet and waits for the next one. So,
what does the planet want? Let's figure it out. Does the planet want?
That's an interesting thought. What does the planet want?
What does the planet want?
Yeah, what does it want? It doesn't, and not to say that it doesn't want us, because, I mean, we're a outshoot of what the planet wanted, but maybe we're not the perfect. Maybe we're only a stand-in for what's to come.
maybe we are here to create the minerals that will be found 100 million years later that will build the thing that will make it what the planet wants.
So you mean
Maybe,
I'm going to be, somebody's going to suck me out of the ground and I'm going to field a future festa?
No, I think maybe the elements of plastic and things that we feel are unsolvable for us in the future will be the bedrock for what will be next. Maybe like all these microplastics that we find, somebody's going to be digging in the ground and go, hey, look, we found these microplastics, or we found more of these things. And they don't even know that they're microplastics. And they'll go, we can make things out of them. And they'll start making things out of the waste of our lives. And in the future, those waste things will create something else.
Some more waste.
Well, maybe they create the thing that will allow them.
It's going to go, this experiment is not working.
The thing is, like you can talk about like that, the gene, breaking it down to that smaller level. Those things that we think will last forever do not last forever. Hello? Come on back. I'm not going to forget this conversation.
They don't. Things don't last forever. Nothing lasts forever. I think the planet proved that.
I'm going to say, so the things that we think that we create that last forever do not last forever, because forever is we have such a short view of time. I mean, I always love when they talk about how long the Egyptians, the Egyptian civilization was, and that Cleopatra is closer to our time than she was to the beginning of the Egyptian civilization. Think about that for a second.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, you think about that.
That's just insane how long the Egyptians were around as they're in their civilization, that Cleopatra is closer to our time than she was to the beginning of her civilization.
Yeah, just think about it. In that 6,000 years, how boring the Egyptians were. They were the most monotonous people on the planet.
Because they just kept on living? Why do you keep on living?
Why can't you make a figure correctly?
You said, they go, what's with this Anubis thing? What that the dog head got? Come on, stop it.
Come on, man. That's like having Trump for 6,000 years.
No, it's not. Come on.
Yeah, it's exactly the same.
No, dude, they went through many different changes and iterations of their government, just like everyone else does. That's the thing that gets me about the whole thing. Is like, I tell people all the time.
They were around for 6,000 years. They didn't make anything out of metal or glass.
Sure, they did.
Come on.
Sure, they did. Absolutely, they did.
They didn't make mirrors.
I don't know if they made mirrors. I know they made things out of glass. I know they made things out of glass and out of and they definitely made gold. Good God, they made all kinds of stuff out of gold. We're still trying to find more of that stuff.
Everybody did that.
Anyway, we're coming to the end of our show, Ron. We run it.
That was it. Oh my God, man! Sorry, folks. Sorry to bore you again.
If you watch this show, don't.
If you watch this show, please tell somebody to show to.
We'll be back. I don't know if we'll be back in December. I'm gonna say yes. We'll be back in December.
Is this getting to be a strain?
No, I just think that Christmas is on a Friday. Are we going to do the day after Christmas?
I think we should have a Christmas show.
Well, I can't do a show on Christmas Day. You think we should do a show on Christmas Day?
Yeah, yeah. I'll open up our presents.
Ooh, maybe. All right. Well, we'll be back next month. I don't know if it's Christmas.
No, we won't do a Christmas Day. Okay, there's some things I do respect, and I do respect them. Yeah, I believe in Santa Claus.
So we'll be back the day after Christmas.
Santa Claus is Jeff Bezos.
We'll be here on the 26th of December.
Okay.
To disturb humanity once again. By then, I might have read that book and might not even know who I am anymore. Maybe I will change my whole perspective on life because it's going to change everything.
It will. It's going to change you.
Maybe
Swear to
I
God.
will.
It's the
Maybe I
source,
will.
man. It's the
Maybe I will
source.
try to. Maybe I will try to reach inside my body and find my own internal whatever it may be, down to the smallest particle of my existence.
Wow. Okay. Well, you keep reading, all right? If that's what it's going to do to you. Me, I'll be on to something new.
Well, I'm going to start that painting I sent you a picture of the photo that I took when you decided to ask me about the erotic vegetable guy.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Mr.
Was it
Weston.
Edward Weston? Yeah,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
yeah. Why would you compare that photo to Edward Weston?
It's just the darks. I like your photographs. I think your photographs are strong.
Yeah,
I like
my
your
photo.
photographs.
Yeah, I did. Okay, I got the ultimate compliment. It was like a back. You know how you get a backhanded compliment?
Uh-huh.
You know, it was
Uh-huh.
like the guy told me. He goes, and this is not a joke. And this is a guy I highly respect. He's dead now, but he used to run Photo Factory, and I love. They did the best work, dude. The best. His
Uh-huh.
name was Richard. He was a genius. The guy was a black and white film genius.
Uh-huh.
He looked at my photos. This is back when I didn't know shit, dude. I was just trying. I was borrowing cameras. Didn't have my own camera. Really was just it. He goes. You know, you're doing what photographers want to do. So basically, he's calling me not a photographer. That's the great thing. He goes, a lot of photographers. He goes, a lot of photographers want to be artists, and you're an artist using photography. And I was like, oh boy. And at the time, it hurt because I was just like, I need to know more. Ron, you froze. Come on back.
There you go. Okay. Yeah? I'm still frozen? How about that? Am I back?
Ron, come back, Ron.
How about now?
We got to get Ron a better connection.
Am I back? No? How about now? No? Maybe the show's over. How about now? No?
Where are you?
How about now?
Come back to the green room, Ron.
I am. Am I here? Can you hear me? Nope.
Well, maybe we're going to end the show like this.
Yes, let's end it. You can record this. This is all being recorded. Can you hear me now? Okay.
Well, I see you in the live. I don't see you in the green room. That's fine.
All right.
I don't know what this means exactly.
Can you read the chat? Can you hear me now? Now? No? It's not fair.
I'm going to end the show, Ron.
How about now? No? All right. I think we should go.
Ron, I'm going to end the show.
Yeah?
I'm going to end the show, Ron. Hey,
Okay.
everyone. You all take care of yourselves out there. I don't
Bye-bye.
know what's going on, but I'm going to end the show. Ron's up there somewhere. We're not able to talk to one another. Ron, say goodbye to the people.
I don't really exist.
I'm going to end the show.
Trapped. Time warp. I'm a black hole. All right. Wonder if I just keep talking.
It doesn't really exist.
I just keep talking here.
The time warp.
Yeah.
I'm a black hole.
Alright, you know. Oh, am I there?
Hey, whoa, we're back.
We
got to end the show, Ron.
What? I just got started. I had my own show going on.
Anyway, look, we'll talk again later.
Okay.
I don't think we got back. We'll be back with these simple people.
All right. People,
oh my God.
Somebody witness this. We need proof that we exist.
Do we exist?
Yeah, man.
Anyway, I was going to tell a story about my backhanded compliment, but I just want to say that it was a compliment, even though it felt like a slap.
No, you're a slap at that time, but you take wonderful photographs.
I still don't feel that way. I feel like I'm just playing around with the camera.
I sometimes wonder why you have to turn them into drawings when they stand alone, really.
I don't feel confident because I'm not a photographer. That's what I was saying. When Richard was telling me that, he was like, photographers wish they could do what you're doing. And I go, what the hell? He goes, you're an artist taking photographs while they're photographers trying to become artists.
Yeah, they're trying to take they're trying to take art. They're trying to create art, yeah. I get it.
Well, the whole thing is, there is a technical proficiency to being a good photographer. You know that, right?
Yeah, well, just like anything.
I mean, so I feel that. I mean, because sometimes I go, I wish I knew a little bit more, but I don't really want to take the time.
Yeah, but you don't need to take the time because you've got a stylistic. You got stylistic proficiency that works perfect for what you want to do.
Which is why I turn them into drawings. Because that's what I was trying to do.
Well, I mean, they stand alone as they're wonderful photographs, and the fact that you can kind of blend those things together and kind of.
Hey, look, we'll save that for later. Next show.
I know. We'll go.
Next show.
All right, I'll see you.
All right, Ron.
Bye.
Hey, man, did you have a good holiday anyway?
I did. How about you?
It was all right, man. I worked, but I needed to work. And,
how was your mama?
Mom's good. Everyone's fine. They're all pissed at me for not coming to St. Louis this year.
You can't go,
dude. I'm not driving, and I'm definitely not flying.
Yeah, no kidding.
So
this is
can you imagine me in an airport?
No,
right now.
No, it'd be fun. It'd be a fun road trip.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. They're all pissed that I'm not coming back, so whatever. All right, I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, tell him you read Richard Dawkins and you changed and you're forever morphed into something else, something more elemental.
Well, if that's the case, then we're all one together anyway.
Stop. Who do you think you are? Barry Kubrick?
All right, man. I'll talk to you later.
All right, bye.
All right.